So the ability to do long balls and different types of passes obviously grows as you get older. The pitch gets bigger, players are more versatile, etc, etc. But here are 4 different ways to pass a ball in this video. So this video is essentially a passing masterclass, guys. It's got everything you need to know about the different techniques and the basics. Just make sure you're warmed up and using both feet. So I've had many requests to do a video all about passing. So as I've said before, this video is full of loads of different passing techniques. To be precise, exactly 4. And what I'm going to do is, before I do the pass and tutorial, I'm going to show you guys some clips of me doing it in game. And then finally we'll get on to the tutorials, and then you guys can literally just emulate this, practice it and put it into your own sort of training session, and it should help you loads with your variety and technique. So first off, we have the driven pass, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to play all these match clips, and then we'll get into some deep analysis of how you do the right technique and the actual execution of the pass after these clips. Okay, so let's get into some deep analysis of the driven pass. Now, the driven pass requires very little follow through. As you'll see in these clips here, my body is barely moving afterwards, slightly off to the left hand side there, but very little follow through. And as you'll see, I strike it hard down into the ground using my laces. Sometimes you'll get a bit of height on it, but that doesn't really matter. The main emphasis is the strike of it. You're kind of going through the ball, putting a bit of backspin on. If you hit it sweetly, you'll notice the ball won't even move, and it'll be a bit like a knuckleball. But it's great to get it gliding across the floor, a quick switch of play, and many different other examples as you've already seen. So if you can nail this one, it'll be very useful to your game. Just make sure you're practicing both feet. As you'll see, I am a lot stronger on my right, but it's a very useful and cool technique to use. Pass number 2, we have the lofted pass, a very tactical pass, and like I say, we'll play all the clips again and then we'll get into some analysis of it. Similar to the driven pass, the lofted pass also has very little follow through, and as you'll see, my body kind of stays still after hitting it, and most of the time you're going for this backspin effect, which looks super cool and is mostly used when you're switching a play, drawing the opposition to one side and quickly switching it to the other side. So how do you get the height on the ball? What you need to do is hit the ball underneath, so below the middle point of the ball, and this will allow you to get underneath it just like a golf swing and hit it upwards, and then to add that backspin you use the laces and have little follow through. Number 3, we have the curl pass. Essentially you could call it an inside of the foot pass, but this can be done in many different variants, from lofted to a whip round the corner, loads of different variants. Let's play the clips and we'll get into some analysis. So the inside of the foot pass, or the curl, is very useful for going over opponents or hitting a large pocket of space in behind the other team. And as you'll see, unlike the other passes, there's a lot more follow through, so please bear this in mind. The more whip, the more curl you want, the larger the follow through you'll have to be, but it's important that you also hit the ball with the inside of your foot. Most importantly, at the end where the toe is, as you'll see, you really have to follow through and almost strike it through as if you're taking a shot. But like I say, the more you get it on the inside of the foot and the more follow through you get, the more curl you'll have. And obviously the angle at which you hit it also, helps with this. And making sure that I would advise just below the middle of the ball, not too far at the middle of the ball, obviously depending on how high you want to get it, but bear this in mind, there's a lot of factors which affect this, especially the wind. And the last pass in today's video is the outside of the foot, which I'll mix in with some other passes as well. But after watching these, we'll get into some more tutorial / in-depth analysis. So the outside of the foot pass is probably the least commonly used pass I'll ever use in a game, but it certainly has its time and place to be used, as it's a very unexpected pass. Because you're using the outside of your foot, it can be so quick to execute, but just like the curler, you need to have lots of follow through. As you'll see, my legs are kicking out at the end to exaggerate that curl, and then of course making sure you're hitting it on the outside of your foot, not too far up and not too far down, just so you get that nice, because if you hit it too far at the top, you don't have enough power to generate it, but enough on the side, you'll generate a nice whip. And then when you execute it correctly, it'll have some amazing spin, and if it comes off right, it'll look amazing. So there you guys have it. I've never really done like a passing masterclass video, which is literally breaking down all the basic passes. So for those of you that wanted it, here it is. Hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you'll find it useful to use in your games, in your training, when of course we do get back to normal. But make sure you give them a practice when you're training at home. Easy to do, and it will really help you develop the muscle memory and technique you will need to take your passing to the next level. Thanks for watching, guys. Take care, and I'll see you all in the next one. Peace.